approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
A motion with support. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Heitmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Motion carried. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve is presented.
So moved.
A motion with support to approve consent agenda items 1 through 8, which are the minutes from the regular city council meeting on October 20th, 2021. Approve a payment to Des Moines County GIS Commission. Approve a payment to Land, Water, and Vegetation Control. Approve a payment to Municipal Solutions. Authorize the sale of a generator and transfer switch on govdeals.com. Accept Hoffer's resignation from the fire department. Approve payment to business radio sales and service, and consider payment of claims as presented in the amount of $84,179.81. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Heitmeyer.
Aye.
Motion carried. Before we go into the council and staff reports, I just want to congratulate Ron, Mr. Teeter, and Melanie, and Johnny, and Johnson, and Kathy Newberry on the election results last night. Congratulate all of you.
Right.
And a couple of you, I'll still be around to work with next couple of months, and wish you all the best. Greg, what do you got?
A couple items, Mike. I assume you're going to touch on the tower?
Yep.
Okay. Our bond counsel has everything for the abatement process. We'll get that, they're working on that paperwork now. At one point in time, we talked about, it was brought up about adding trees to those requirements. They've never done it. Not to say you can't necessarily do it. I did find one community that actually did have a 2-tree requirement. But if we're going to go that route, you know, is it required in every district? Residential, commercial, industrial, multi-res, how many trees, all those kinds of things. Is it something that we should, that you're still interested in including, or is there a better route going out to do that? We've got the Trees Forever grant that we're working on. We've got the tree program that plantings that we'll be doing next spring, and growing trees for available folks. Or do you want one tree for anybody and everybody that applies for tax abatement? So I'll need a little bit of direction, not a decision, but a little bit of direction if there's a consensus on how you'd like me to move forward on that. Or any thoughts?
Well, at one time we were talking about just limiting the trees to the properties themselves instead of into the right-of-ways.
Either way, right away or in the yard, but a lot of folks may already have sufficient trees. You may not want to add trees. Who's going to be the determiner of that? Are we going to have the state forester come out? I mean, I'm all in favor of adding trees, but we'll also have trees once we get the tree bed put together that folks can acquire as well, or we can give them that. They're cheap. We'll grow them over a season. They'll go 3 or 4 feet, and they'll grow more as they get put in a pot, and so on and so forth. So we'll have more opportunities going forward. And then as part of that grant that I sent out, that whole area, a lot of this area over here will be able to be replanted in the spring if we receive the grant. So.
I know what Mike's opinion is.
I'm making a tree bed.
None of us will be here when they probably die in 40 years.
Right.
So. That's the thing.
Well, I think we kind of lost our resident tree person, Kathy Christie, who is
She's still helping me out.
okay, well, the main voice right now speaking up, I think, would be hers. So I know I'm in favor of trees in general. I think it helps our community in air quality and in look and feel and just being a good neighborhood. I'm probably more concerned about sidewalks than I am trees, but I'd be in favor of it, but probably a larger conversation, some more information needed than just a spur of the moment thing. But
Right.
I know in general I'm in favor of it, and probably just on the residential side.
Just residential. I mean, it'd be helpful if you know, for example, one community I did find just said you had to have 2 hardwood trees in your yard. Didn't matter, new, old, whatever it was. That's the only thing I've been able to find on the topic. John's never done anything like it. So, I mean, if we just want to make sure everybody's got 2 trees in the yards, and if they don't, then you can require one. I can simply put that on the application and keep it that simple for residential units. Because you get to multi-res, and when you're looking at, you know, that whole planning process, you know, we can add trees at that point in time regarding that. So I think we could just keep it very simple and just do that, something like that's already been done.
I'm worried if you start adding it to the commercial side, you're gonna have, let's say it was the Honda dealership that came in, right? And then we're gonna require them to put trees, but there's really nowhere to put trees.
Well, you can work on that, but that should probably be done through the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If we just do the same requirement, residential, if you've already got 2 trees, great. If you don't, you need to put one in. Just keep it simple.
And you're only on the abatement right now is what you're
Yes,
talking?
just abatement.
Okay.
It can always be changed, too.
Well, I'm definitely a proponent of trees, that's what I want to say. I like
We are
it.
too, and we've got
It's just
several.
how to do it
several routes
and
to
make it
go.
doable.
So, it's not a huge cost, so. So if we were to just say, make sure that people have to have at least 2 trees in the yard, and if you don't, you gotta put one in. Keep it as simple as that.
And we'll supply them the trees, just come
And they
pick
get
it out.
abatement, and they get abatement.
You need an answer tonight?
They're gonna bring it back to us in December. They're working on the documentation, so you can think about it. I just want to get it back to them sooner rather than later. Budget calendar we handed out last night. Budget calendars are always tentative, so just make sure you mark your Wednesdays off. And so that's the tentative schedule that was sent out, and just encourage you to take a quick look at that. New members, Kelly's going to send out a link for you to create an account on the league's website. There's a ton of resources on their website, and it's pretty simple to sign up. Just hit the create an account button and go from there. And I think that's all for right now. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have anything for Greg? Mike?
Just wanted to pass on the 3rd coat of paints on the water tower. They should be starting with the City of West Burlington logo or lettering on the side. And things are moving along, and if they get that done, hopefully the crew will come in and still get that raised up before we get snow and get it welded up on the top.
They got the epoxy paint that they said they
Yep,
couldn't get.
we did get the
So-
good paint. They did find it. It's moved forward. They worked, did 2 coats last weekend, worked Saturday and Sunday, and then they put one on yesterday, and lettering should start. We started our annual jetting of sewers today. We put out a notice just to remind everybody, when you're gone, leave home, leave your toilet seats down. I can't give you a time frame, and take a rest this week and probably all next week, depending on what kind of troubles we run into.
Well, people ask me if you have certain areas, then I said, hi.
We do we're doing the whole town.
Yeah, I know, but do you know, like, what day you'll be in what
No,
section?
it depends. Like, we had truck trouble today, had to go back and fix the truck. We started over at Swartz and Vernon and that area today. I'm not sure how far where they ended up at the end of the day, but we're working our way across town headed east.
So you're going west, east?
Yep.
You didn't call
I
it
have
a
my
flush?
expectation where I'd like to see us be, but unfortunately, you run into problems and things break and nozzles, and so I can't give anybody a time frame on what street we'll be at. Just how fast things go and what we run. If we don't run anything, we ought to be able to get several alleys in a day easily done. We should be able to move quick, but we found some problems today, and yesterday we had some problems we run into, and that's why we do it as a city, to make sure we're maintaining our mains and stop anything we find that's wrong, so we don't have a blockage.
Just a suggestion, if it's easy to do, I don't, if Brad's back there listening at the moment, but, I mean, could we maybe just fire off something to Brad in the morning saying, hey, we're starting here today, moving west? And then he posts on Facebook, hey, we're on spring today and moving west,
Yep.
just so you know?
Yeah.
anytime we can communicate more, as long as it's easy.
Yeah.
Brad's giving me a thumbs up.
Anything else for Mike?
How's it going with picking leaf bags up on Mondays?
Good so far.
Is it
Really
starting to be more?
hasn't been many, but with the cooler weather, and I notice things are turning fast, and we start getting some wind and some rain to pull them down, they'll be coming hot and heavy here probably the next week.
Okay.
I had one follow-up on, we had a pretty serious rain there a week and a half ago or so, 3 or 4 inches pretty quick. Was there anything like that last 6-inch rain that you saw that?
It stayed at the top of the creek in Lures, and no flooding or any incidents that I know of.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Still have our I&I issues, we're working on that. We spent 2 days this week going through town again because some of the manholes we found do have rainwater coming through seams and lift holes. So we did another hole this week, went through, we got some lids that have holes in them we're gonna replace. And we're getting a list made up and a cost to come in and do that injection around the outside of the foam fill to seal them up. So I'm trying to do everything I can on the I&I on all of our mains and manholes. We got a guy today, was here finally to do slip lining there's a section in Houston and there's a section at our booster station over by the Recplex that we have issues in the main that we constantly are having to deal with. And there's it's called slip lining. They slide a material in there and chemical reaction puts it out, sticks it to the old main, and you don't have to tear out the street and everything. You can seal cracks and stuff that way without doing it. So we're trying to get a quote and get it in the budget for next year to address these 2 problems there. And as we go forward, we'll be adding a little bit each year, trying to fix some of them. I'm also finding out whether this is an option for that 24-inch force main. Yeah, from the, if that's an option, they'll have to be bypass pumping, of course. They'll have to cut into it and bypass around, then they'll slip line a section, and I don't know if that's an option in that big a pipe or that much quantity of water in it or not, but he's supposed to be letting us know whether that's an option, that route too, so.
And what did you call that, slip?
Slip lining, it's a thin material, PVC that goes in, and a chemical adheres it to the side of the clay tile or steel pipe or PVC. He informed us today too that people that have their laterals come out, we constantly have them cave-ins in the alleys and your Y breaks off in the alley.
Yeah.
Depending on the severity or what it is, they got what they call a T. They can slide in, and that same material will go 5 foot up your lateral and seal it, and 6 foot in the main. And it's about $3,500, he said. But some of these sewers are 20 foot deep, and by the time you excavate it and do that, people tie a lot more money than that up to dig up their service. So we might be coming up with another option for the citizens as we find them or people have problems before they dig them up. We can talk to this company and see.
Good.
We'll have to do video, and he'll have to come down and video it, see what he's got, see if it's repairable that way without actually digging it up, so.
That'd be good. I deal with that every day. Every day I sell a house, I'm begging them, don't shut off the water.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, anything else for Mike?
Is Pat Klein Park, is that restroom up and running now, or where's that
It's
at?
up and running, and now it's been winterized because we got below 30 degrees, and I didn't want all the new plumbing freezing in the new toilets, so we had to shut them down. There's air actuated and little 1/8-inch tubes that have water in them, very small, that function the operation of them toilets, and I didn't want to take any chance on freezing the fixtures or anything, so the parks and the concession stand have already been winterized for the year, so,
So it's done, ready to go for the spring?
yes.
Thank you.
As soon as I know it ain't gonna freeze, we'll put the plumbing back in and light it up, and we're good to go.
Okay, Jesse, what do you got?
We had a malfunction of the storm siren today. We're not for sure how it went off. I was able to get it shut off, and as you can tell, it's malfunctioning correct, or not malfunctioning. It's going off. It went off at 6 o'clock like it was supposed to tonight, so we'll see what happens from here on out, so.
6:03 and 6:11 is what I wrote down.
Yeah, it went off, and Sergeant Dunham told me that they went off at SEC correctly too, so hopefully I had a lion come by, he checked, it didn't show any faults on the meter or anything, so we're not for sure what set it off this morning, but we got it taken care of after about 20 minutes. Bryce completed step 2 of the FTO. He's moving on to step 3 tomorrow night. He'll be with Officer McCampbell. He'll be with him for 3 to 4 weeks, and then he'll have a probably 1 to 2 week final step with Officer Schluter, and he should be on his own by middle of December. And then at that same time, Bruce, who's in the academy now, will be graduating from the academy on December 17th. So,
You have anything for Jess?
Do you have any issues Halloween
Nope.
with trick or treating?
Nope.
Sean's not here. Got anything, know of anything that's going on with him?
Sean's been doing a lot of rental inspections, getting that caught up, getting our list caught up, but also getting those inspection and apartment complexes and rentals all caught up, so.
Kelly, you got anything going on?
Not tonight.
Angie?
Should have the AFR done, annual finance report done by the end of the week.
Andy, got anything going?
Not tonight, thank you, sir.
Nope, nothing
Lois?
tonight.
Trish?
No.
Melanie?
Yeah, I went to, on October 19th, went to the REAP meeting for this part of Iowa, where they talk about what to prioritize, get input from the community for what to do with the REAP money. Usually the state legislator allocates between $12 to $20 million to that, and it's legally determined how it's going to get split out. But then within those groups, what do people want, is what the input they wanted at the meeting. So most of the people there are salaried people or full-time folks, but they did take input from a few of us generic citizens. So it was interesting. It was out at Stars Cave. That's all.
All right. Anyone wishing to address the council on matters that are not on the agenda tonight? There's a chance. Ron, would you have to say? Ringo, you got anything to say?
No, just here, Mayor, I know you only get a little amount of time, so time's a historic day.
New business, item number 1. This is the one I really have been looking forward to doing. Is to consider resolution hiring and appointing city administrator and entering into an employment contract. And you have the contract in front of you, and I would entertain a motion to approve the contract first.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lees,
Aye.
Young,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
That motion carried. Now there's a resolution in front of you to hire the city administrator.
So moved.
Sport.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Young,
Aye.
Crowner,
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce everybody to our new city administrator, Greg Monsager, and I'm going to swear him in.
I thought you said you were going to swear at
As
me.
many, sworn at you many a time. So you want to repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Greg Monsalve,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of city administrator
discharge all the duties of the office of city administrator
in the city of West Burlington, Iowa,
in the city of West Burlington, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, bud.
Thank you, sir.
Second time I've
Thank you much.
Thank you for wanting to do this.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, congratulations.
Aboard. Congratulations. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Ron, you'll find he's a great guy to work with.
Yeah.
And he's got a great family, too. And you should see the picture that he posted from the first time that he got sworn in.
Have to read.
Last, no, that was from,
Oh, the go away party.
going away party,
Yeah, go away
when we
party.
had, Katie's Cookies,
Yeah,
which I've been trying to find and get, but,
they're a rare commodity now.
yes.
Okay. Item number 2 is to consider an ordinance setting the water rates effective January 2nd, 2021. And you can see Greg has sent you out a memo and several options, but I think the best option probably is to go ahead and set the rates, and then while you guys are discussing in the, for budgeting for next year, to discuss on how you might adjust those rates, if you're using ARPA funds, or if you determine that you need to increase a levy for those type of, what do I want to say? Geo bonding or whatever.
Three of us put our heads together, and Angie went through a lot of spreadsheets, which I appreciate very much. But that makes perfect sense to adopt the final rate ordinance tonight. We have sufficient time during the budget process to review ARPA levy rates, fund balances at that time, and you can certainly make the final decision at that point in time. The key, though, with the ARPA funding, if we are going to use it for the water portion of that project, we need to, the council needs to designate that before that project starts. So that'd be the water main as part of the water tower project, which will likely, well, I guess we're still looking at timing on that because we have Mount Pleasant Street next year as well, but 2022. So we'll need to get that determined during the budget process at the latest.
As usual, I am in favor of looking at the large picture and not just fixing this one little thing. So I think going through the whole budget process and deciding during that time is appropriate.
I think you need to set the rate, this rate now, because you need that rate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and then decide on the ARPA during the budget process.
The ARPA, then you could possibly even reduce it next July.
Yep, I
depending
completely
on
agree.
what you need. And this is the first reading of it, so you need 2 more readings after this. So with that, I need a motion.
Motion to approve the first reading?
Support.
So motion with support to approve the first reading, which would make the monthly rates from going from $28.51 per meter to $33.16 per meter. The first 3,000 gallons and no charge, with the payment of monthly distribution charge. 3,001 to 1 million gallons would go from $11.16 per thousand to $12.71 per thousand. 1,000,001 to 1,000,005 would go from $8.90 per thousand to $10.45 per thousand. And 1,500,001 and above would go from $6.95 per thousand to $8.50 per thousand. Any discussion?
I hope during the budget process we can find some ways to bring this down, and if not immediately, that we at least get together a long-term plan for how this looks moving forward. I know we're kind of stuck between 2 long-term bonds, and who knows what has to happen on the other force main, but I hope we can look at that for long-term.
Right, and if you recall, and it's actually in here as well, this is one of our fund balances that is on the very low side as well. This is required in order to meet the requirements of the SRF loan itself as well, but absolutely, certainly something to take a look at, but it is a challenge.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Crowner.
Aye.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is to consider the second reading of an ordinance amending the penalty for false alarms.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Carried. Item number 4 is consider second reading of an ordinance amending provisions pertaining to public disorder.
Motion to approve?
Support.
Is a motion with support. Any discussion? Roll call.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 5 is consider resolution waiving the final reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 3103 of the City Code related to disorderly conduct.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion with support. Did we receive any comments whatsoever? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
We do a roll call.
Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
There was a curve there.
He's new here. Crowner.
A brain fart.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 6, consider second reading of an ordinance amending provisions pertaining to soliciting, canvassing, and peddling.
Motion to approve?
Support.
The motion with support. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Crowner.
Aye.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 7 is consider resolution waiving final reading of the ordinance amending section 12207 of the city code related to soliciting, canvassing, and peddling.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion with support. Receive any comments whatsoever on this? Okay. Roll call.
Knightmeyer.
Aye.
Lees.
Aye.
Young.
Aye.
Crowner.
Aye.
Motion carried. Old business. Anybody have any old business?
I had one question. There was a mention a while back of an open house up here, and the date was wrong. Did that ever get set?
December 15th. That's gonna be, and it'll be before that council meeting. That's a council meeting night.
Okay.
I think we're talking like 3 to 6.
Okay. Thank you.
And we'll have something in the newsletter going out about it too.
If anybody has anything they'd like to see put in a newsletter, let Katie know. I think, what'd she say? She'd like to get it out in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone wishing to address the council on matters that we discussed or didn't discuss tonight? Here's a chance. Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion with support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.